Yeah. I like what she says at the beginning when she's talking to Princess Charlotte. Uh, she asks him, like, Charlotte asks Violet, hey, is the age difference okay in marriage?
Yeah.
Violet's like, yeah, I've conducted a statistical analysis. And yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she asks him, like, even if there isn't love, and then she says, and then she's at a loss for words there.
Yeah,
She says, so it's kind of interesting, I think, which is that she's confident enough to answer questions about marriage,
right,
but she's not confident enough to answer questions about love. And most people would
right,
put those two together, but as you
right.
can see, they're very, very different. Hey guys, welcome back to the This Week in Anime podcast. I'm Preetam,
I'm Alan,
and
and
we
we
are
are
the
the
Anime Philosophers.
Hi guys, welcome back to This Week in Anime. We've got another action-packed episode for you. We're continuing with the 5 anime from the previous week. Very exciting stuff. I'm looking forward to watching all 5 of them.
Yeah, we're continuing to follow the Winter 2018 anime season this week, and we've got some very, very interesting stuff for you, ranging from, thoughts on Chise and Elias' complex relationship in Ancient Magus' Bride to kind of the lackluster episode 6 of Grancrest War to Darling in the Franxx with some tension really heating up between Ichigo and Zero Two, and I think Zero Two is really growing on both of us. And we're gonna close out the show with Violet Evergarden. Fantastic episode as usual, and of course, finish it with a roller coaster ride that is Devilman Crybaby. So get stoked, get excited. It's time to tune in. Let's kick this show off.
Let's dive into it. Okay, so moving on to the first series of today, Ancient Mage's Bride, episode 18. Forgive and Forget.
All right, looking forward to it as usual. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right, we just finished up episode 18, Forgive and Forget of the Ancient Magus' Bride.
Yeah, and I actually like this title. This was it really fit with Elias learning the emotion of jealousy for the first time. Yeah, such a basic emotion again that you would think someone who's lived for hundreds of years would know, but
he doesn't. Yeah.
But he doesn't.
Yeah, okay, I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, first, before we get into all the interesting stuff with Elias and Chise and that sort of very complex relationship going on there, is that Chise finally makes a friend in this episode with Stella. And I think that's really awesome.
Yeah. I think this is maybe her second friend.
I guess so,
with the addition to like the one she went on the Christmas day, Christmas
That's
holiday.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. But still, for her, it's a big deal.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So that was nice to see. And I like that little dialogue that she has with Stella, right?
Yeah.
She asks she's like, I haven't made a friend in a long time. What should I do?
Yeah.
Stella's just like, just invite your friends over to do whatever you feel like doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And she's like, what if they don't like what I like doing?
Right.
And I really like what she says. Which is like, we're all different. Just because you're friends doesn't mean you're gonna have the same interests.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's more, you're just there to like kind of hang out with them and share that experience with them, and just talk.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah. For someone who was 10 years old, Stella is.
Yeah, I didn't think she was 10 years old.
I
thought she was like 15 or something.
Yeah, that's what it looked
15,
like.
16, yeah.
Yeah. Even Chise was surprised, right? Because Chise is like
thought
almost
she was 16 too, right?
Yeah. And maybe she's wise beyond her years, dude.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, with that positive kind of intro, it quickly turned into a little bit more of a sour note.
Yeah.
With Elias's jealousy and throwing a temper tantrum.
It's interesting because when the episode started and Stella visited and stuff, Elias was like, "Oh, just hang out, do whatever you want. I'll go retreat to my study.
Right.
So he seemed almost like a father figure, right?
That's right.
Kind
That's
of.
right.
But
Right.
then after he like threw a temper tantrum, he looked like a snotty little kid, you know.
And it looked like Chise was the mother.
And Chise was the mother, yeah.
It's weird, man. Their relationship is very, very complicated.
It's very complicated.
It's
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't even really know what to think of it because, at first it's so many things. At first, I thought it was just master and apprentice.
Right.
And then he was joking about her being his wife.
Yeah.
And then and then they're kind of possibly friends.
Right.
And then it's like father and daughter. Remember he's like, "Don't come so late.
Right.
Don't come back so late."
Yeah.
And then it's like mother and son. When Chise like helps him, get out of that temper tantrum.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super complicated. It's like many different kinds of relationship merged into one.
Yeah.
I wonder what Confucius would say about this, because remember, like in Confucianism, there's like the 5 basic kinds of relationships.
Right.
Friendships, parent to like their son or daughter, husband, wife. I forget what the other ones are, but like, there would be like these 5 basic types of relationships, and it seems like Chise and Elias kind of combine all of them.
Yeah. It's just really weird, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna end up.
I don't know. Yeah.
At first, I thought it was like Elias like almost rescuing Chise from that underground auction, giving her a home.
Yeah.
Now it's become almost unhealthy.
It looks like it, right?
It does. That's what it looks like to me. I don't think it's a great thing, and I think we've been seeing foreshadowing of that through the series. I don't know if you remember that episode where Chise and Angelica are walking back home, and they're out, out on town, the night out of town, and they're talking to each other, and Angelica says I don't know why you, something she says she's like I don't know why you so attached to Elias or something along those lines, know. And then Chise gets really angry, right?
Yeah. Dude, that's how you know, like when you get angry about when you get really emotional about something like that, something's off.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, so like Angelica like knows that something weird is going on here,
Yeah.
And that's what we saw in that episode. She's just like, why, what's going on there? Like, why do you always have to be around Elias, and why are you so? And why is Elias just keeping you at home, right? That's what she wasn't happy about.
Yeah.
She was like, he just keeps you with him all the time at home and stuff.
Yeah, it has the potential to turn into a really unhealthy relationship.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's where it's headed, especially since like Elias is so immature emotionally.
Right.
So he probably he's starting to feel human emotions, but he doesn't really understand them. So he acts like a kid, basically.
Right. And I think it's really dangerous. I mean, he was basically suffocating her inside that. Yeah.
Like I don't think he knows his strength either, because.
Yeah.
So.
Like she said, he was going to eat me. I mean, that's some crazy stuff. I mean, we had that cutscene. Remember when she stayed over in his room when he was freaking out, going crazy and stuff.
Right.
And he was like licking her, almost about to eat her.
Yeah.
So it looks like something really weird is going on there.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know what to say, man, because Elias in the beginning of this anime, he seemed like a wise older figure, right?
I really saw him as like a true like a master,
Yeah.
Someone who's passing down his wisdom to Chise.
Yeah.
But it's really not that case at all.
It's not that case at all. Yeah. If anything, now it seems like the roles have reversed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say, man.
I really don't know what to say. It's the show is awesome
It's awesome, yeah.
because I haven't seen any anime kind of like this where the relationship, at first what it seems like it's a very standard relationship, master and apprentice, all of a sudden gets very very complicated.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it really is now anymore.
Yeah.
And it has these like dark vibes to it.
Right.
What seemed like a great thing at first, so it's fascinating to me.
Yeah. I wonder how they're gonna keep developing it, actually. It could go any
Yeah.
number of ways.
Exactly.
Like, it could turn even darker, even more...
Right.
Or there could be some resolution to it.
Yeah, it's unhealthy on both sides, man. Like
Yeah.
Elias is now like getting jealous. Like Chise can't even have a friend. That's there's serious
Yeah.
problems there.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as she was talking to Stella, he felt he just couldn't take it.
Yeah.
So that was weird. And then on Chise's side, she's too attached to Elias, basically.
Yeah.
Like as soon as she saw Elias leaving, she just basically abandoned Stella. She's like, okay, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Figure out
Yeah.
what's going on here.
Yeah, it's unhealthy on both sides. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows what's gonna happen, man?
I did. Speaking of like the contrast between unhealthy attachment and a healthier kind of attachment, I like the conversation between Chise and Angelica's husband, where he was like, he said that, oh, Angelica kept denying me for so long, right? Like he proposed to her so many times, and she always said no until eventually she said yes. And then he said that the reason seems to have been that he wouldn't live that long compared to Angelica or their daughter, right? Because I think she's a sorcerer, and sorcerers and mages live very long, apparently.
Okay, that would make more sense to me because I was confused by his speech actually.
I think that's what he meant.
Okay, I was wondering what he said. Like he said something about dying soon and about having them always sending people off was
right. Because I think
I was confused by that.
I was a little bit too, but I think sorcerers, at least from what we have seen, like all the sorcerers we met, like they've lived for hundreds of years, right?
Okay.
Whereas normal human beings live much less than that, and he said he was just like a normal human being, right?
Oh.
And we know that slave beggies don't live very long at all. So he was like he felt bad for his husband and his daughter for having to live so much longer and having all their friends and relatives and stuff die before them.
His wife.
His wife, yeah. What did I say?
His husband.
Oh. All right.
All good. All right.
All good, yeah. Yeah, so I think that's what he meant. And
no, that would make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I was confused actually. I was like, wait, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if it was just mages that live longer or what's the deal with sorcerers?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have that one sorcerer who like made a deal with like the son of God or something, and he.
Okay.
He's lived for what, like thousands of years. So.
That's true.
That's my understanding, at least. Maybe I'm wrong, but
no, then it would make sense. Yeah. I was confused. I was like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
Dying soon. And stuff. I guess that makes sense now because he sympathized with Chise.
Yeah.
Chise didn't live. It's not slave biggies don't live as long.
Yeah. But it looks like Angelica, unlike Elias, has a much more healthy relationship with her husband, right? And with knowing that she will live a lot longer and knowing when to let go, kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Interesting. I guess finally closing off the episode, Cardophilius is back to his mischief.
Yeah. Cardophilius, yeah.
Yeah, or Joseph. Yeah.
Did they call him Joseph in the past, or was it just in this episode?
I don't know. I think they mentioned Joseph.
They mentioned Joseph? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. So he's up to no good again.
Yep.
The preview looked pretty eerie.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens in the next episode. I'm looking forward to it. Looks like things are gonna take a darker turn because the past couple of episodes have been quite lighthearted.
I think so. Yeah.
Let's see what happens next. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. Okay, so let's move on to the next anime.
Okay, so we're moving on to Record of Grancrest War.
Yep.
All right, so we are on episode 6, March. And let's read the summary here real quick. Villar's mage leader, Margaret, is about to turn 25. Villar only employs female mages, and when they reach the age of 25, he has their contracts voided. A lavish party is thrown. All in attendance express their gratitude to Margaret, as well as their sorrow at having to bid her farewell. It is then that Villar takes her hand and asks her to dance. Silica looks on with growing frustration as they dance passionately, almost flaunting their mutual feelings for each other. Okay, this seems like a gonna be a weird episode, but let's see.
Yeah. Different from the previous 5, I guess.
Yeah, my thoughts on Grancrest have been, I thought the fights were pretty good, and all of a sudden with episode 5, I thought, it's starting to get kind of, it's kind of hopping all over the place,
Yeah.
So, and the pace is moving a little fast, so, we'll see.
We'll see. I definitely still don't think that it's on the same caliber as the rest of the anime we're covering this season, but it's entertaining, so...
Okay, let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Alright. Alright, guys, we just finished up Record of Grancrest War, episode 6, March.
Yeah, and neither me nor Freedom are too huge fans of this anime, but it's okay. It's somewhat entertaining, I guess.
Yeah. I think it's mediocre, honestly.
Yeah.
The only thing that is redeeming to me is some of the action scenes are like pretty good. So the fight scenes are good, and as we mentioned before in some of the previous episodes, the use of strategy and the use of tactics in battle made this show more than just some average show. But I mean, recently with the past episode and this episode, it seems like, okay, what I'm trying to say is like this anime doesn't have flow. It's kind of very jarring transitions, and it's using like these random events that don't really seem to connect in a convincing way.
Yeah.
That's
the storylines are very unrelated to each other.
Exactly. So. Yeah. It just doesn't gel. It feels, you know what I mean? It feels haphazard.
Yeah.
And they're introducing a bunch of, with this conquest. They're marching out on conquest now. They mention like a bunch of names, like Baron some countries. Like none of those things mean anything to me. So
yeah, they were never mentioned before, and like I had no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah, so it leaves me very, very lost.
Yeah.
So yeah, my opinion has degraded quite a bit on this anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and there's really not much to say philosophically, I guess.
Right.
The only kind of interesting part of this episode was like the relationship between Count Villar and what's her name? The one
Margaret.
Margaret. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what's there to say that much about that either, but
yeah, it's just so kind of.
It's just so yeah.
So we looked up how many episodes this anime has, and it looks like it has 24. So it's a pretty long running series. So I think we decided, if we don't really enjoy it, we'll probably drop this.
Yeah, we'll watch a few more episodes just to maybe give it see if it becomes better, but
yeah, maybe a few more.
Maybe a few more.
But if every new episode is in the same vein as these past 2 or 3 episodes, and they aren't that interesting, well, we'll probably drop it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's move on to something more.
Something that I've really been looking forward to this week.
Yeah.
I was telling Alen, before we started watching and stuff, that the anime I was looking forward to the most over the past week has been Darling in the Franxx.
Which is saying something, since one of the animes is also Devilman Crybaby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to Darling more than Devilman Crybaby. Can you believe it?
Hard to believe.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Darling has somehow captured my heart. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm actually really looking forward to it too.
Yeah. So, without further ado, let's get to Darling in the Franxx, episode 5.
Yep.
And the title is Your Thorn, My Badge. Summary is, it's time for plantations 13 and 26 to start kissing, and the squad prepares for the huge battle this will cause. They also have to get used to Hero being Zero Two's partner, and so does he.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
Let the kissing begin.
Let the kissing begin.
Alright guys, we just finished up episode 5 of Darling the Franxx, Your Thorn, My Badge, and hell yeah, it's been pretty good so far.
It's been pretty good. This anime is really increasing in quality with every episode, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's up there for me for this season for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, where to start, dude? So, yeah, I guess we continue to see that those Freudian references.
Of course.
That's part of the
plantation.
Plantations kissing and
kissing and so it looks like what that really means is that there's an energy transfer, a magma energy transfer through a very large pipe.
Right. Yeah, and apparently that attracts Klaxosaurus. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So pretty interesting. I mean, there's a lot of like little interesting details there, which is that.
Right.
So it looks like humanity lives in these things called plantations.
Right.
They're mobile units. They can move around, and that every now and then there's a transfer of energy between them.
Right.
Which is known as kissing. So it's kind of interesting. And it looks like the main source of energy in this universe is magma.
Yeah, and it looks like Klaxosaurus also want magma. So maybe that's part of where the issue arises, man.
Right.
Between Klaxosaurus and humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another interesting thing that maybe they'll explain in later episodes is when they met the other plantations parasites, right?
Right.
That guy who's always cocky, I forget his name.
Yeah.
He said, like, he asked them, did any of you turn into adults?
That was pretty telling. Yeah.
Or did you ever hear of anyone turning into adults?
Right.
So that seems like a very strange question to ask, but it seems maybe for parasites something happens and maybe they can't turn into adults.
Yeah, or it could be even with a darker overtone,
or
which is that they don't survive.
They don't
even survive long enough to become adults.
That's also possible, yeah.
But yeah, that was a really interesting question.
Yeah.
There's something behind that.
Yeah. I mean, it's also interesting that all of them are children, if you think about it.
Right.
Yeah, why should that be the case? Like,
exactly. Yeah. It looks like it's just them. They're the only children, and everyone else is adults.
Yeah. Looks like it. That's true.
So
we haven't seen any other children actually.
Right. And it looks like the other. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. No. The other weird thing I wanted to remark on was, remember when they were about to have lunch or whatever, and Ichigo was like, "We need to pray first," and they were basically praying to Papa.
Yeah. Because I guess Papa has a lot of power in that world because he controls rain, as we saw, and everything.
Yeah, and they're like literally praying for his health, almost as though he were a god or something.
Yeah, we still don't know a lot about Papa, actually.
Yeah, who is Papa?
And
is there a Papa per plantation? Or is he like controlling all the plantations?
Right.
Remember the 9 or whatever?
Yeah, what's his relationship to that? So there's lots of things we don't know.
Exactly, but on the lighthearted side, I like that lunch scene.
Yeah.
With 02 putting her weird. What is that? What is she pouring? Honey? Is that what it is?
Honey. Yeah. She has a very strong sweet tooth.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh, I wish that."
I wish
my partner. Yeah, like everyone's jealous of Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember one person asked one of the guys, the short guy, asked him like, "Why don't you ask your partner to do that?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Nah, I'd rather ask someone cute."
Yeah. Yeah, the guy's kind of an asshole, but it's funny too.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah,
But I enjoyed that scene. That was good.
I enjoyed it. That was good. Yeah, yeah. That's what I like about Zero Two. Zero Two's personality too. She's so um, she has no restraints. Basically, she's just
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, but moving past the lighthearted stuff, it looks like Hero is infected by something.
yeah, yeah. Looks like it. And what they were saying is that was like the polar opposite effect of what happened
Right.
to everyone else who rode
Right.
with Zero Two,
Right.
which doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's weird because I mean, it looks like everyone else was suffering too, but it's a different kind of thing, and they didn't have that
Yeah,
weird blue patch
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
on them. So it looks like for some reason maybe Hero's compatibility with Zero Two, when they ride together, somehow he's being tainted. I think Papa mentioned that in the last episode or something at the very opening. They said we don't want the special specimen to be tainted or something by Zero Two. He said something like that. I thought
Okay.
he was potentially referring to Hero as the
Specimen.
yeah. So I wonder if Hero, there's something special about him because even if you notice Plantation 26, even the Franxx from them, those parasites from Plantation 26 knew about Hero. Remember, they said,
Okay.
"Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's right.
famous. He's famous amongst us children." So why
Yeah.
was he famous? Is there something special to him? So
Yeah, that's true. Um, Something to explore in future episodes.
yeah,
Um, Also, I mean, Zero Two is also infamous, I guess, in Plantation
yeah,
26,
yeah,
because her fighting style in the past has been so reckless that
right.
even though she's very strong, like Strelitzia is very strong, she tends to endanger her allies as well as her enemies, I
Right,
guess.
and she seems to have a very survival of the fittest mentality.
Yeah,
She's like, yeah, the weak die.
yeah,
Like
unbelievable.
no sympathy
No
whatsoever.
sympathy whatsoever. Yeah,
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm that's why I find her character extremely interesting because even though um, even when Ichigo's like trying to be nice to her, I mean, not trying to be nice, but just trying to remember when they're having that conflict when she leads Ichigo leads Zero Two out into the forest
right,
at night, trying to tell her like, hey, you got to stick to the plan.
right.
You got to make sure you take care of your allies as well. She's like, whatever, like you're just bossy, and
Yeah,
then she's like, okay, well at least like don't push heroes too hard, right? It's pretty
yeah.
like not asking for that much. Zero Two's like, she just he's like, yeah, well you tried to ride with him, but you couldn't help him at all, so stay out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she was like you want him for yourself, right? But
You
it didn't
couldn't
work for
even,
you.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
she was
So just
pretty
stay out
brutal.
of
I
it.
thought in
Yeah,
that
she's
scene.
brutal. Yeah,
I felt bad for Ichigo actually.
yeah, I did. Yeah,
Yeah,
and she, and then pushes Ichigo to say you're not even human. And then she comes back. Zero Two comes back with what is it even? What is this human thing you're even talking about? What does it even mean to be human?
yeah,
And I think that Ichigo. uh, yeah, I
yeah,
mean that was rough.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I think her personality is very interesting, dude. Zero Two.
Yeah,
I still don't know what to make of it.
I don't know
Yeah,
exactly. I don't know if
yeah,
she actually. It seems like she cherishes Hero, but
right,
in the way she talks to like Ichigo and stuff, it doesn't seem like that because she says, well, yeah, well, if he can't survive
right,
three rides with me, then
right.
he's just not cut out for it. It's too weak.
Yeah, and she also doesn't
But to
seem.
him,
Yeah,
she acts very differently.
that's true. That is true. And she also doesn't seem to care that much about other people, like outside of Hero,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
she's like very much living in the moment for herself, kind of.
Right, right.
And yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and
I don't know.
yeah, and the other thing is like whenever she talks to Ichigo, she's always like, "He's my darling."
Yeah,
Like basically, like he belongs to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And let's remember what Ichigo says, like, hero doesn't belong to anyone.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting. I wonder, like, if the relationship really is, symmetric, or whether 02 is, you know, almost like claiming him. So we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Another potentially unhealthy relationship there, like we were saying about Ancient
Exactly.
Mage's Bride earlier.
Good point. Good connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see, but I'm really looking forward to this. This anime is
Yeah, it
awesome.
should be good. Next time will be the third time that Hero rides with 02. So
That's right.
if he can survive that, that would be a record.
All right. Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so moving on, we're gonna head over to Violet Evergarden, episode 5, and we don't have any summary or anything for this, so we're just jumping in blind.
Yeah, sounds good. Looking forward to seeing her explore more human emotions, dude.
Yeah, can't wait. Let's do it. I need more Violet in my life. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys, we just finished up Violet Evergarden, episode 5.
Yeah. It's a beautiful anime, man. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's very polished. Very polished, as usual.
Very polished. Yeah. Like before we dive into it again, like the setting was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I guess like the royal setting around the princess and
Lots
everything.
of detail.
Lots of detail. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually kind of crazy. I saw a documentary recently. It's called "Why Beauty Matters," and it's by some British philosopher, and one of his points was that in modern times we've gone more towards building things based on utility rather than beauty. But by focusing on utility, people eventually don't want to use something if it's ugly. But if you make something beautiful, it will remain useful forever. Which I thought was pretty powerful, and I think this anime definitely follows that philosophy. So
nice.
Yeah.
So good point.
Yeah. So yeah, jumping into it again, trying to. I guess Violet takes one step closer to trying to understand what love is in this episode.
Yeah. I like what she says at the beginning when she's talking to Princess Charlotte. She asks him, like, Charlotte asks Violet, hey, is the age difference okay in marriage? Yeah. Violet's like, yeah, I've conducted a statistical analysis. And yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then she asks him, like, even if there isn't love, and then she says, and then she's at a loss for words there.
Yeah.
She says, so it's kind of interesting, I think, which is that she's confident enough to answer questions about marriage,
right? But
she's not confident enough to answer questions about love. And most people would put those two together, but as you can see, they're very, very different.
Yeah. I like that she admits when she doesn't know stuff, though.
Right. Yeah, she's like, yeah, I just don't have the information or experience to comment on that. Yeah. I like what the princess said. She's like, am I even talking to a person right now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting with Violet, dude, because when she took the initiative to let the princess write her own letters, right? Like that like actions like that show that she kind of understands her feelings, right?
It's a very human thing, yeah.
It's a very human thing. But on the other hand, she does things like, quote statistics and and give like a legal disclaimer before she
right. And she has like no emotion.
And she has
well, no I mean, emotion, she has emotion, but she can't express that emotion. I guess that's what we should say.
Exactly, yeah.
Because she definitely has emotion. But yeah. She's like, Princess is like, can you please show some emotion?
Yeah.
She like stretches her face.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, that was a good step. That was a genius step for her to take, though, to let the princess write her own letters.
Right.
Because and if you look at the content of the letters once the princess started writing them, they were not super fancy with metaphors and whatnot, but they were more relatable. You could
Right.
see like the townspeople throughout the
Right.
kingdom reading about it and being emotionally invested in it and
Right.
seeing, okay, what's he gonna respond? What's she gonna respond next?
Hmm.
Um, so
Yeah, I think it was interesting commentary on like on appearances versus being authentic. Yeah,
right,
right.
right,
Because the two of them are obviously like big shots. They're like royalty of different nations, so the
yeah,
appearance is very important, right?
yeah,
And so it's interesting to see that what's really endearing is not the appearance, but how authentic
exactly, yeah,
the relationship is. So.
exactly,
Hmm.
yeah, and the ending was amazing. Like they synchronized the
Yeah,
the
the
the ending
dialogue with the
credits and
credits.
everything.
Yeah, they've been
Yeah,
doing that past couple times, right? I think that's
they
that's
have,
their
yeah,
style. It's very. I
yeah,
like it. It's very. It's a sweet cinematic trick.
right.
It's very cool.
They deliver it very well. So
Right. Yeah. So it looks like towards the end, it looks like next episode could be a little bit more foreboding. Let's
looks like it, yeah, because we see her past in the army, dude. With
right.
uh, you see her covered in blood and stuff. So
Yeah. And that guy over there who
yeah, the
said
naval
that,
commander,
yeah, he
yeah,
was that the colonel's brother or whatever, right?
right, right, yeah, yeah, unbelievable. What was the final quote? So it's true that
You're
you're a doll now.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
like
and after
you,
all that, you're writing letters that bring people together.
yeah, yeah, with your bloodstained hands or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, I guess hopefully we'll get a little bit more about Violet's past in the next episode.
yeah,
Figure out what's going on there.
yeah. Yeah, that
Definitely
was a
looking forward
powerful
to it.
contrast. That was a powerful contrast to like
Uh-huh.
the overall
Right, it was so
theme of the
happy, and then
so happy. Yeah,
and immediately, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, fascinating.
All right, yeah. Looking forward next week, man. Can't wait.
Absolutely. Okay, now we're going to move on to the final series of our podcast. Of course, one of my favorites, Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah.
we're gonna end it with a blast. End it with some electro beats.
Sounds good, man. Let's get into it. All right. Episode 6. Neither demon nor human. You know it's gotta be good.
Yeah.
With that title. At a widely broadcast track meet, Rio plans to expose high school athlete Koda as a demon, thereby spreading fear and distrust throughout society.
All right. Looks like he's trying to bring the existence of demons to light.
Looks like it, yeah. All right, it's gotta be good, man. Can't wait.
All right. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Okay. Just watched episode 6 of Devilman Crybaby. Yeah. This
It's just
anime
crazy.
always leaves me speechless, dude.
Yeah.
It's so like over the top in so
Yeah.
many ways. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that intro was pretty crazy. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never before in an anime have I ever seen anything like
Yeah,
that.
me neither, man. It's
Uh,
definitely a genre in itself.
yeah. Wow. Okay. So in this episode, Rio's like, kicking his plans into high gear. I think his whole mission is to uh, reveal evidence that demons exist amongst humans.
Mm.
And in this episode, he's kind of sabotaging. What's that guy's name? The track star's name?
Koda?
Koda. Yeah, Koda. That gives him some special drink, which forces him to turn into a demon, and he's trying to get
Right.
that on footage. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny that he has a YouTube channel called like Rio's Science Lab.
Yeah, yeah.
And he does like live streams.
Yeah. It's kind of like who is that guy who used to do like science experiments for kids?
And Bill Nye.
Bill Nye, yeah, that's right. That's
Bill Nye
but
the
the
Science
much
Guy.
a much more extreme version.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was interesting. Um, and
Yeah.
what's really interesting is that the tension between Akira and Ryo is
Yep.
continuing to build, because I think Ryo told Akira to give Kudo that water, but what
Yep.
Akira actually did was try to connect with Kudo,
Yeah.
because he knew that he was more than just some savage demon, but he also had a human heart, just like him.
Right. Right.
And so he tried to save him, didn't give him the water. But I think Ryo knew exactly that this was going to happen. So he interviewed him and gave him the water himself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, we're seeing this mutual distrust
Right.
between the two. Because even at
Right.
the end, Akira says, "Hey, I killed a demon,"
Yeah.
but
But he didn't.
he didn't at all. So
Yeah.
he's trying to save Kudo.
Yeah. Yeah. You can see it. Another thing about Rio too is he's the type of guy who was willing to sacrifice all those
Right,
athletes
right.
just to show the world the devil,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
So he doesn't seem like he's very much like the end justifies the mean type of thing. Doesn't put a lot
Yes,
of
yeah.
value in human lives, I guess.
Yep.
So
I mean,
and
he
that was
purposely. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
that was a bloodbath. That wasn't like the whole like track.
Right.
It was a massacre. So and he didn't seem to regret any of that. He covered it as if with a straight face. So
Yeah. I mean, that was his plan, I think.
that's true. Yeah.
I think he wanted to show um, that kind of horrifying scene to get people to like slap in their face, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was crazy was that he kept the gates shut to the
Yeah.
track. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, he didn't have any like even though that was his plan, he didn't have any remorse about it.
No,
So
not at all. Yeah.
so yeah.
Remember when all the other TV stations
Right.
shut down the
Right.
broadcast? He's like, no, we got to keep streaming. We're going to get a lot of
Yeah.
hits.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you imagine?
Holy cow! Yeah.
It's like people are dying and yeah.
He's like, no, we're going to keep
Okay,
streaming.
keep streaming. I'm reminded, in Death Note that
I
you know,
haven't thought of that guy in a long time.
What was his
We have to
name
cover
again?
that on this show.
we're gonna cover it
At
eventually.
Death Note,
yeah.
we should do like an in depth,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
in depth kind of thing.
But that TV broadcaster, what was his name?
I don't remember his name, dude. That guy's hilarious.
He was all about the ratings, dude.
Yeah, he had no idea what he was even talking about.
Yeah.
You remember, like, definitely in one of those episodes, he's like, "What's like? I have no idea what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
but it's bringing in the ratings." He became like his channel became like a fan channel of Kira,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think it was called like Sakura TV or something.
Yes. Yeah, we gotta. When we do
Yeah.
Death Note, we'll talk more
We gotta
about
cover. Like that's an interesting character, actually.
that. Yeah, that's a crazy anime.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a crazy
wow.
anime. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great anime. Like a fantastic anime. Up until about the midpoint, right? Where it just
Yeah.
got it didn't go well after L. L was
Right. Right.
removed from the picture, but what a crazy anime.
What a
we gotta
crazy,
cover that
yeah.
at some point. Yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
getting back to Devilman.
Getting back to it, yeah. Yeah, so Rio, I guess in that respect, is a little similar to that guy from
Right.
Death Note.
That's right. Oh man. Okay, so I guess we're left at an interesting juncture, which is
Yeah.
demons have become evidence of demons has become public knowledge now
Yeah.
to the world. So I'm sure it's going to spread like wildfire. There's that interesting scene with Trump in the White House. You could tell by his like orange
Hairstyle.
hair or whatever.
Yeah.
Like burned orange hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen next? Like, how's the world gonna
React,
come to grips with this?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out. I think we're going to find out more. I think this anime is really, again, remember we talked about in the last episode where it's trying to show you that the line is really arbitrarily drawn between human and demon. So once the human world finds out about demons, let's see how they react.
Yeah, true. And
We'll
I
see what
wonder
happens.
if some of these other guys who have a demon inside of them
Right,
can control it in the way Akira can.
right,
So that's what Akira is trying to make Koda
right,
do. So
right. That's what
we'll
I want to
see.
know. It's why Rio's trying to deny the fact that demons
Have
could
hearts and
potentially
stuff.
have hearts. Yeah,
Yeah,
because he every time Akira brings it up, he's like, no, they have a heart, but it's completely destructive or whatever.
right, right.
I think he's trying to deny it. I think he knows that there's something more to it, but he's trying to
Yeah,
silent. He's trying to cover it up for some reason. So
yeah. Yeah, we'll find out.
we'll find out. Looking forward
Yeah,
to
dude.
next week.
Can't wait. All right, guys. So this wraps up this week. This week in anime. This episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, we've covered very different topics. The anime range from the very subtle to the very extreme.
Yeah.
So we definitely enjoy talking about it and watching it. Hope you guys enjoyed it too.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you enjoyed it, go ahead and give our podcast a like, subscribe to our channel, drop us a comment below. We want to hear what you guys think. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Until next time,
Stay
stay
inspired.
inspired.